Oh, dude, I can see that happening in in the scenarios that dude.
But that's
thinking back on like how like season 1 of the show went.
Reality is fucked enough, so they're gonna have. They have.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
they're gonna have children bathing in it and like fucking. Oh, it's gonna be wild shit, dude.
It's gonna be dark.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Maine Book of Secrets. I am your producer this week, the Reverend Redbeard. We are also joined by our host, founder of the Maine Book of Secrets, Chris Julian. Chris, how's it going tonight, bud?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be somewhat healthy. So,
hell yes, buddy. That is always good news. And joining us as well, your co-host, the evidential medium extraordinaire, Autumn Tierney. Autumn,
Hello.
How are we doing this week?
I'm great. Happy to be here again.
Awesome. Fucking awesome. Glad to hear it. It. It's been a crazy week. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on for everybody. It's busy time of year for... I think everybody I know is out straight trying to get as much out of the summer as we can. Yeah. Feeling the days getting colder. You see any leaves turning up your way yet?
I blind myself to the idea. I just won't look until it's inevitable.
I haven't seen anything.
We have a tree in my backyard that is already turning. It's a birch.
Cut it down.
It's a bird.
Yeah, right?
Already, just ignore it, wipe it out. Yeah. It's done. That's it.
Yep.
Delete.
It's probably the best option, honestly.
It's a birch. You have other ones.
Yeah, we honestly, dude, my yard has like a surprising variety of trees, and we had one birch left in the front side of the house. Got rid of it last year. Over the winter, one of the only surviving fully grown ones in the back fell. So now I'm like, nothing but maple. Yeah. It's okay. Whatever. Nonetheless, it's been a crazy week, like I said. Chris, you've been busy. You're going to be going in for surgery on the 30th, buddy. So tell us a little bit about what's going on, man.
31st, I think it is.
31st.
Yeah, it's the 31st. I'm having two discs fully replaced. Two discs fully replaced. C4 and C5 in my neck. They're pretty well fucked. Excuse my French. Sorry.
Yeah, this is an uncensored podcast. I ain't adding bleeping shit. Fuck that.
Oh,
no.
Man. We just got banned from all of it.
Demonetized instantly. Nah. Nah, I get away with a surprising amount. But yeah, C4 or C5, C6, you said.
So something like that.
Yeah, one of them.
But it's ultimately good because they had diagnosed me with I called it my bullshit syndrome. I really couldn't tell you what it is. It was something I had never heard of and honestly thought they were making up. They weren't. It was real, but I did not have it. It was a misdiagnosis. It was back to the original diagnosis, which was my neck. Yep. And then some crackpot did something and said, no, it's definitely this. And everyone listened to him. So here I am. It's all good. I'll be in rough shape for a couple weeks, but I have some friends that'll carry me through.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I'm just glad you'll be on the mend eventually here and be able to get back out there looking for Sasquatch and doing your normal activity, you know.
Doing what I do, man, not getting stuck in the house, which has been my biggest issue. So
yeah, I totally understand how that can be. What a
yeah.
bitch. Well, hopefully that'll be a good situation for you. I hear good things about the surgery. I mean, again, it's one of those things I hear more. I mean, I hear more people complain of like shit like knee surgeries and come out with issues than neck.
From what I understand, it's not my first it's definitely not my first surgery, but I had lower back surgery a few years ago, and they repaired a couple of my discs, and it was actually a really horrible recovery. Like I had to lay flat. I couldn't even move for like the first 24 or something out. I had to have like a stupid catheter in. I stayed in the hospital. Wow. I had a nurse call me an asshole, and it wasn't my wife who was a nurse. Like, but I was so miserable because it was horrible. But this one, the doctor was explaining to me that because it's a total replacement, we're taking the bad units out, putting new units in. So I don't have to lay still. I should be able to walk that afternoon. I'm scheduled first in the first one of the day. I'm going to be far from like normal, but if all goes well, I don't even have to stay a night in the hospital. But
that's awesome. Holy shit.
Maybe that's just making me feel good because I hate staying in the hospital.
Yeah. Well, they definitely don't make it easy. I mean,
no, I honestly, I have all the faith in the surgeon. He's been my most trustworthy, other than my wife, medical advocate. Like he didn't have to deal with any of this. He was a neurosurgeon, and they told him it was the bullshit syndrome, and he's still stuck with me because I don't think he believed it either.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, he's a good dude in good hands, and it's really no worries. I'm sure
awesome, man.
Keep everyone updated.
That's nice to hear. A good somebody finding a good medical professional nowadays. That is important.
He's a diamond in the rough, I'll tell you that.
We've had a lot of issues with that down our direction with the Northern Light and stuff like that. They're constantly having, I'm not even going to get into that can of worms today. It's a whole new book of secrets that we don't have fucking time for that today.
There's no secret there. Everyone knows it.
It's true. It's in the newspaper. They can just see it anytime they want, really. So, Autumn, what have you been up to this week? Busy as always. You've been doing a lot of stuff on your classes and tattooing, and you've got a million things going on all the time.
I do. Yeah. I am co-teaching an investigative like psychic class where we delve into crimes and missing people and things like that, and it's with Joyce Jackson, and Joyce Jackson is a renowned medium and psychic investigator, and she's worked she teaches at the Arthur Findlay College, and she's in Mensa. She's just an amazing person with decades of experience, and so I'm super excited to be like a student teacher under her wing. She's teaching me how to teach, and it's just beyond cool. I mean, if I knew that I was going to be doing this as a kid, I would have just died from excitement, and here I am. So it's awesome.
Everyone would have told you to stop dreaming anyway, so it's all good.
Right.
Yeah, for real. That's a really cool thing that you're getting to do that. And of course, working with somebody you've looked up to like that and stuff like that.
I get chills.
Icing on the cake, you know. That's awesome. So cool.
Yeah,
be anxious to hear it.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I'd love to hear more in general about everything you do with that. Feel free to, dish at us sometime, because that sounds like a fascinating class in general. And I mean, I'm always reading about the weird, spooky friggin' stuff when it comes to that stuff. I met last night, the Writers Guild awards, Chatwald Awards. That's right, Chatwald prizes. I went to one of those last night down in Bar Harbor, and the one of the authors that was there was a medium herself. and she's wrote 4 books at this point on the subject, whether it be with like human real life experiences, she calls them God stories, or whether it be animals. She does a lot of work with animals, so she was talking a lot about like animal spirits and stuff like that. And I mean, it's incredibly fascinating stuff, and they see so many more people now that are really like, they're teaching about it, they're writing about it, they're much more academic in their approach to it. It's refreshing, it's awesome. Like I mean, I'm kind of used to a different era where it was all looked at under a very different lens, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we're entering the age of Aquarius, and there's just been a mass awakening. And Chris is laughing. It's
No, I actually have. I was reading something about this earlier. That's why I'm kind of smiling, and I'm happy to hear what you're going to say about it. So,
well, there's just been a
that was
mass
good
awakening
smile.
in this. No, I know. I didn't take it weird. I know, just people are becoming more true to themselves and being less afraid of what other people are going to think, because really it's not, you are thousands of different versions of yourself to everybody else, and you can't control any of it. So you might as well just be true to yourself and
This is true.
just live the way you want to live, because looking back, you're not going to wish you lived by how other people wanted you to exist.
No.
Yeah. It's that easy.
Yeah. It is that, right?
You just got to do it. Just do it.
Make yourself happy and fuck everyone.
Yeah, no one's paying attention to you anyway. Everybody's so scared about how they're coming off that nobody's, you're not being as observed as you think you are. So just rock it.
That's valid, honestly, and especially nowadays, I see that to be more and more the case. Is like people are so in their bubbles, in their own little world, that nobody gives a fuck, and everybody's got their own thing going on. So it's like,
biggest thing is I love seeing people be themselves. I don't like people that like to fit in. That's why I've always liked the odd duck. That's why I am an odd duck. I don't like the cookie cutters, so I want to see everybody kind of spread their wings, so to speak.
Yeah. And the ones who are super critical are just avoiding their own inner work. They're busy.
They're avoiding something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I do.
Gotta feel for them.
Right. I do, but
wishing the
I only
best.
I can only reach so far, though. That's,
right. No, I get it.
For sure. Well, that's been nice catching up. I think another fun thing that I wanted to show you all is what's going on in the news this week. And Chris has been having a blast on Facebook the last few days. He's been really posting some fucking bangers over there on Maine Book of Secrets Facebook page. I don't think I've seen a post get that much engagement in a while.
I haven't had one with that much engagement in a while.
That was lit on fire and went to the fucking moon. That was great.
Listen, it happened in my goddamn neighborhood. I had to do something.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, understandable. It was like right in your neck of the woods. So I'm going to catch everybody in the audience up. Hold on. We've got a clip coming from Fox News. Hold on.
Yikes.
Yeah, give me a second. I barely have my shit together today. This is going to be rough.
Welcome to my world.
Emergency crews responded to a bridge collapse in Old Town. We'll have details tonight.
Tonight on ABC.
So there was an entire section of the Old Town Bridge that was under construction. That was right along Stillwater, like one of the busiest fucking parts of all of like Bangor, Old Town, Orono, like the whole stretch. Stillwater is probably one of the busiest streets there, and big old chunk of the bridge just gave out. I don't know how many people. I remember there was like a handful of workers that were on the bridge at the time.
There were over 40. I do know that. Actually, my kid's a fireman, and he got called to it. So it was big. They had a huge response from emergency personnel because it was considered a mass casualty incident at first. So there was a huge response. Because it was a huge number of people that were either in the water or down, And so, yeah, I mean, it was a legit response, but luckily there was no fatalities. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, very lucky. That looked like a bad. I mean, every time I go over one of those bridges, and that's not one of the ones that I would have ever really thought of as like unsafe per se.
No.
But
Well,
remember the old Narrows Bridge before they replaced it? That was terrifying back in the day.
Yeah.
Just this past year, I mean, it was back in the spring. It wasn't even that long ago. So somebody, and I can't remember if he was with the DOT or with the town, somehow or another, he was like an engineer that worked with the state. And he was driving over the Trenton Bridge. And as he was driving over it, he hits what he was like, oh, there's a pothole there. Well, he gets to the other side of the bridge and he's like, no, I want to go back and take a look at that. So he gets out, he walks back on the bridge, and literally there was a hole about this big around, just straight through the bridge where it had just given out.
Jesus.
People were driving over it and had no idea. And they went and repaired it and patched it like within the day. It was like immediate. As soon as he called it in, there were people like on it. So it's not like it was like a crisis, but there was a whole ass hole through the bridge and it was still like functional.
Until it's not.
Right. And then you have that. And what if there was cars on there? If that hadn't been under construction.
Yeah.
There was just cars driving along. Then it really would have been a a casualty event because you would have had people in vehicles dropped into the fucking.
In all honesty, there's heavy equipment that they were using for the poor that literally could have and probably should have crushed people that it did not. So they were extremely lucky. Like they have not done anything at the scene. If you go by there right now, it's as is. There's still a cooler from the guys out on the deck on the bridge. I mean, it's as they walked away. And I believe they're leaving it they're not done investigating it because someone's got some splaining to do.
Yeah. Well, that's why I saw the last update I was able to find earlier was from Maine Public. And they had basically, they said they were like 4 days on and there's still like nothing but questions. And I mean, I'm sure that's pretty, I don't know. I know how slow moving like everything is nowadays just because that's the world now.
Yeah. They've been like 3 years doing what they had done with this bridge. That's the funniest part. So now we're screwed. Yeah. It's going to be another 3 years of traffic.
Oh yeah, they have bridges on the island that they're still like from storms 2 or 3 years ago. They're still working on and roads that have been washed out for fucking forever. And
where is it?
I couldn't imagine what it was like, to be on that fucking bridge because I don't handle fucking heights at all. And then I have something like that happen to me. I need therapy. I would absolutely not handle that well at all. In other news, because there is still plenty of cool shit going on in the neighborhood, we had a whole new experience with wind down in Portland this past week, which is not as close to us as people think. Maine is a huge state, but the fucking wind in the last couple of months has been getting ridiculous. So let me show you this article. This is coming to us from Maine Public. August 13th, Portland storm reaches 70-mile-per-hour winds. Look at these friggin' trees and the size of them dropped on lines. This is the rain washing out the roads.
I saw some of the hail they had. That was
okay. I was gonna say because they had hail that was like a quarter inch.
I was gonna say that looks like golf balls.
It did. It was huge. Like it was. They showed pictures where some of the roads in Portland were flooded, and there were like little icebergs of hail that had clumped together. Like it looked like a February scene of melting snow or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's stupid weather.
It's been crazy, and honestly, like people say what they will, But the weather in the last few years, and I'd say within the last like 5 years in Maine, has been the weirdest weather that I've had the entire time I've lived here. And
Yeah.
it's not like we've had storms, like we always had like nor'easters that would just like kick our asses a couple of times a year. We've always had like, you know, stuff like that. But bro, when did we start having fucking tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff? Like that's new to me. I saw that shit in Florida and got away from that.
Right.
And it was like, I want nothing to do with that. So this here is, we're not equipped for this.
Well, no, but that's the thing. They don't call them tornadoes. A lot of times it's straight line winds. That's how they get around it. And it's just as destructive. I actually have pictures, imagine that, of in Old Town again. What the hell? That's always Old Town, but a few years back, like there was a huge swath, man, right out through the woods off a lake, and it was they didn't know if it was straight line winds, tornado. It's one of those fine line things, but the destruction was crazy. To this day, you go there and there's still no significant growth there because it just annihilated everything. It's a scary situation. So I kind of feel for the people. I can't imagine dealing with that. I've seen some of the effects.
So one story I found on it, and it's scary, but the guy's approach to it was kind of funny in just the way that the headline read. So basically, a 93-year-old man that lives in like Portland area, I guess he had 6 trees come down on his property.
Christ.
Yeah. So I was a couple of years ago, I had one pretty large maple fall on my property, like big enough that you could feel the house shake. It was imagine just trees, just the wind's howling and then just boom, boom, boom. 6 friggin' trees just start falling around your place. The fucking world's ending. Like, you know, like it's getting crazy, man. And I don't remember like ever having this 10, 15
But I bet that 93-year-old man is bomb proof. He's been through some shit, especially if he's lived in Maine his whole life. That ain't nothing. That's only 6
built different.
He used to take care of that before school.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the way that it's been for most of my life. When I see those old timers, it's like they live to be 100, and it's just out of sheer spite. Like
they're
nothing else.
Like they're badass dudes, man.
Yeah, what's crazy is gonna go in the stove.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh man, fantastic. Well, I had one other big somewhat Maine related news story this week that I wanted to show y'all because I saw it and I got excited about it. Fans of my shows are usually a fan of this show, so they probably will know what I'm talking about, but we're going to check this out real quick while we have a second. Whoa.
I've heard about that place.
I've heard some stories. I'm skeptical. So the teaser for It Welcome to Derry season 2. It Welcome to Derry season 1. I was a huge fan of it. I loved the first season. Had my buddy Nomar on my show, the Fogcast, and we talked about it for an hour and a half, just dished about how cool it was. This year is Stephen King's 79th birthday. They're having a big celebration for him in September in Derry.
Yeah.
The reveal for It season 2 coming out just ahead of that. The hype is real on my end because I'm a Stephen King fan, and growing up here was only a part of that. I think I probably still would have enjoyed his writing, but then knowing like the locations personally that he was writing about, that always added that other layer for me that I always really loved. I can't get more excited every time I see something that's related to Stephen King's work or Maine. I'm always like fuck yeah, like I love it. Eat it up, man. But the whole thing that I thought was really cool, and I don't know if y'all watched the season 1, but season 1 was set before the events of the movies. Took place in 1962 Maine. This time they're going back, as they said, to 1935. So in the 1930s, there was a big historic event.
I know.
Do you know? Do you know, Chris? Tell me, Chris. I hope you get this right.
Man. No.
What is it? Tell me.
It's got to be about Brady.
That's right. It's going to be about the Brady gang. And they teased it in the last season. They did kind of allude to the fact that there was a big incident and they were talking about in the 1930s, and then to know that they're going back further and it's going to be in the 1930s. I was pretty excited to find that out because I love when they deal into like real history and real events. That's one of my favorite things that Stephen King does, is like he's able to like really like get into the minutia about stuff, and good writers can do that. But Maine has a ton of historic stuff.
He ties stuff together so well. I'm excited to see how this whole thing comes together. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's for me, I'm excited. I'm not a huge I've seen it, I've watched all the things, but I'm like, there's some shows I watch over and over. So I don't know a ton about it.
No, I can understand that. And I mean, for me, it was like when I watched it, I went in expecting next to nothing because I was a pretty big fan of the book. I liked the original movie a lot. The second movie didn't quite hit that same peak for me.
Yeah, it was different.
And then I was like, well, if they're going to do a new series, I'm like, I don't really know where they're going to go with it. And I was like, we'll see what happens, right? So then that it was decent. I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And seeing what they're doing, and if they really continue to just go back through like Maine history and do different events, I can get into a show like that. And I can come back and watch that for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
So for the audience who doesn't know, the Brady gang was led by Alfred Al Brady. Back in October of 1937, they were ambushed and gunned down by FBI agents outside of Dakin Sporting Goods in Central Street in downtown Bangor, aka Derry. The bloody shootout ended the gang's violent Midwest crime spree when the store owner, Shep Hurd, tipped off authorities about the men trying to buy weapons, mainly because they walked in with just fistfuls of cash, apparently.
And they wanted to buy Tommy guns. That wasn't exactly for hunting purposes.
I mean, who has it?
Maybe
now?
moose.
Come on. I mean, funny enough, my father-in-law actually does have a Tommy gun that's technically Jen's, so we do have access to one. Sweet. But I haven't gotten to shoot it yet. But one of these days, oh boy,
does it have a drum?
Yeah. Well, it has the banana right now. We can get a drum for it. It's got the mount and everything, so it's like.
If you get that, you got to do a photo shoot with it, just like totally dressed gangster.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a brand new suit and everything if I do get to that.
Absolutely, we could use that for promotional shit. That would be amazing.
Right
on Central Street.
Yes.
Yeah, right. We could do the same location and everything. Wouldn't that?
You could be the ghost of Brady on Central Street.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have fun with this.
Hell yeah, man. There's plenty of options, and I see it as a pretty ripe for storytelling and all of the fun that goes along with it.
I think they're going to hit a home run because, I mean, it's as horrible as, at least from my point of view, I have a kind of a skewed view. I feel for the dudes. They kind of got, they were bad. They did their thing, but that was a judge, jury, and executioner thing, in my opinion. Yeah. However, that is just my opinion, and that's mine. So if you don't like it,
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I'm kind of of the same opinion. You know, I'm like back then granted, the 1930s, like Bangor was a much different place. If they
The
had
world is
shown
much
up
different.
fair. If they had shown up 30 years earlier in Bangor, I don't think anybody would have really batted an eye. Like they probably would have just been whatever. It's another day. As long as they
Bangor
brought
was the
rum or
Wild
something
West,
with
man.
them. It was until like the early 1900s is really when it started to clean up. And even then, there were some parts of it that were pretty damn rough. So, you know, I don't think people recognize that enough. So they can do some really cool shit this season. I don't know anything else about it. And just seeing the date, I was like, oh, it's got to be this. And then, I mean, I'm glad that you recognize what it was because
Well, I mean, the story is more than just them getting killed that day. They were in this area for at least a week.
Yeah.
I've heard personal stories of family members of mine that had encounters with them way, back. They're all fucking dead now because it was a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, so this is a part of history that is I've touched. I mean, like it literally, I had family members that were alive like when this shit happened. Like I remember them telling me that after they were shot, people rushed out into the street and used their bandanas and snot rags to soak up their blood to save. How fucking morbid is that? But they did that.
Oh, dude, I can see that happening in in the scenarios that dude,
but that's
thinking back on like how like season 1 of the show went.
Reality is fucked enough. So they have
dude.
Yeah,
they're gonna have children bathing in it and like fucking it's gonna be wild shit, dude.
It's gonna be dark, but it's gonna be all right. They'll do it.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about it again, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we will be as soon as that show rolls. And I'm sure I'm gonna be fucking yapping about it all the time, regardless. So I mean, I may make a whole fucking issue out of it, and piss everybody off over
a lot of people do.
We'll see.
It's a worthy issue.
So it's fine until something in the show pisses me off and it does Game of Thrones or something. I'm gonna enjoy the ride. That being said, so y'all want to get on to some of the spooky stuff? Want to talk about some of the stories that we've had submitted from our listeners coming in this week? We've had a pretty fucking great turnout so far for the show of people. We have email submissions. People have reached out to us on social media. And we also, as of the other day, have a hotline that people can call in and leave a message on to tell our stories. And then we will play them live on the air. So our hotline number is 401-592-4921. And if you go... Yeah, exactly. That's right, Chris. And when we go, I was hoping for something better, but I don't have money. I need a free number. So ignore the fact it's from Rhode Island. Don't ask questions.
It's free, man. We're from Maine. Tough shit if you don't like it.
Exactly.
If you don't understand it, you're not from Maine. So
it's at least in relative like geographic proximity. I'm gonna say
coming to us.
Rhode Island is not that bad. It could have been like
just
India
as funny as
something.
we do. So
yeah, they got the same kind of accent going for them. But nonetheless, you've got the hotline that people can call in and leave a message. That being said, we have already had some submissions, so we want to talk about some of them. I can read some of the ones that we got. I know Autumn got one the other day as well. Well, she got a couple, so you want to talk about a few of those, and we'll see how see what you think of some of this spooky shit. So first one that we got, this is from Amy, okay? And this is not too far off from you and me, Chris. So maybe this is an area we're familiar with. I drive by it all the time. So I'll read you the story. The email goes, I don't know if this story will sound as scary as it was when it happened in real life. I hope I don't disappoint. About 15 years ago in Orland, East Orland actually, which does matter apparently, radio says, I lived down a mile-long camp road. My boyfriend and I had gone somewhere with a friend of ours. When we were on our way home, we decided to be dropped off at the top of the camp road so that we could go for a walk. As soon as we got out of the car and started walking, I thought I heard thunder. I realized the horses in the pasture next to the camp road were all running together toward the barn. I'd lived down this road for well over 25 years, having lived in the same spot for over 20 of them. I'd never seen that before. I thought it was odd, but didn't think more about it at the time. Then, when looking back, I remembered there was a dog, a big dog, whining to go inside at the house across from the horse pasture. About a quarter of a mile into the walk, I heard something in the woods next to me. Being a little chicken, I made my boyfriend switch places with me. He walked maybe another quarter of a mile, and we heard another sound in the woods. Shortly after that, I had ended up somehow back on the same side I had been on earlier. Probably her boyfriend switching with her, too. We were maybe a little less than a quarter of a mile from my house when something less than 100 feet from me growled. Not a mean, vicious growl, but a low that I can only describe as sounding like a werewolf. Whatever it was letting me know it was there. Neither my boyfriend or I said a word for maybe 50 feet or so. Then I finally said, "What was that?" He said it was a horse. I said a horse.
Just the wind. Back to bed.
Yeah, exactly. It was just the wind. It was a horse. I said, "A horse? Why would a horse be in the woods?" He said the horse pasture came down that far. And I didn't argue the fact. Knowing it was impossible for that to be true, never mind the fact I've lived there in my whole life and knew exactly where the fence was. Somehow, for some reason, I stayed calm, didn't run, and didn't freak out until I got into my house. And as soon as I got inside, I started, and that was no freaking horse. What the hell was that? My boyfriend, having grown up in the woods hunting his whole life, said I have no idea what that was. I have never been so scared of anything I've come across in the woods. Whatever it was, I believe, was at the top of the road when we got out of the car, and it scared the horses. It scared the large dog, and it followed us in the woods for a mile, only making noise 2 times. There was no smell at all. That's important to me. The only thing I could think of was a mountain lion. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I have messaged her back because I kind of wanted to see if she could point to me on the map where this was. Because I thought if it is a mountain lion, we know somebody that would be very interested in hearing about that.
I know if there's been other reports in that area.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, I mean, mountain lions growl, but
yeah,
not like that. I mean, maybe
I'm more wondering why she thought it sounded like a werewolf. That sounds like a little. I mean, I'm not
snarling growl.
Yeah, I've heard snarling growls, and believe me, the last thing I want to think it is a goddamn werewolf. But I'm just saying. I mean, it might have been, might not have been. But whatever's going to growl at you in the woods, it doesn't want to be your friend. So.
Right. And as a general assumption, yeah, I would say that's probably the best thing that you could do is just like avoid it. It's going to be territorial or whatever. If it's a bear, which, okay, so yeah. So, and that was one thing that was kind of important to me on that is that she mentioned there was no smell. Because the first thing that I'd think where she's talking about the sound that it was making and where it was is maybe a black bear. Which is possible. I mean, black bears.
They smell. I've never encountered a bear that didn't smell.
They would smell them from that distance. If you can hear them, you're going to smell them.
So there's no way it was a bear. And I hate to be that guy, but I know for a fact there's not a non-stinky bear out there.
No, and that was exactly my thought when she mentioned that there was no smell. As I'm like, there's just they walk through your yard and you smell them.
And it lingers. It lingers. If they even sit down, the ground will smell like that oily mud. If you know, you know. If you don't, go find a bear. But
go sniff a bear and let us know. Then you can email
let
us
us
about
know
it
if they
and
really
let us
shit in the
know.
woods. I
Yeah,
know the answer.
Email it to us at acadiaafterdark.com/Maine Book of Secrets. We'd love to hear all about it. And that was one listener story that I got. Autumn, would you like to give us the one that you got?
Sure. Our friend Nick wrote in with this story. He says, my grandfather Frank was dying of cancer at Millinocket Regional Hospital. It was his last day, and our entire family had gathered around his bed to say goodbye. I had grown up in a house just down the road from the hospital. I lived there from about the age of 6 to 13. My grandparents also lived nearby, and when I was around 8 years old, they were married at their home. The house I grew up in had never been renovated while we lived there. This part is important. That day at the hospital, we were all sitting around my grandfather's bed. He was breathing and moaning occasionally, but he wasn't responsive. None of us really knew how aware he was of what was happening around him. Then there was a knock at the hospital room door. It was the lead nurse. She asked if another nurse, a man who had recently moved to town, could come in. Apparently, he had something he wanted to show our family. None of us had any idea what this could possibly be. The man came into the room and introduced himself. He had a backpack with him because he was about to start his shift. He explained that he usually came to work early and that, by coincidence, he had recently purchased the house I had grown up in. He had been renovating the house each day before going to work. Earlier that day, he'd knocked down one of the upstairs bedroom walls and found something hidden between the walls. It was an old photograph, and it was pretty badly beaten up. He didn't know who the people in the picture were, so when he arrived at the hospital that day, he showed it to the lead nurse, who had worked there for many years, and asked if she recognized him. According to her, every hair on the back of her neck stood up. She told him, "You're not going to believe me, but that looks like Frank and Marianne's wedding photo. And Frank is here tonight, taking his last breaths." The man reached into his backpack and pulled out the photograph. It was my grandparents' wedding picture. He handed it to my nan, and she immediately started crying even harder than she already had been. Then the rest of us started crying too. My mother and father just looked at each other in complete disbelief. What made it even stranger was that my family didn't have that photograph. They had smaller wedding pictures in photo albums, but they had never had this large, full-sized version of the photograph framed. And the house didn't have an attic where a photograph could have simply fallen down between the walls. None of us knew how it had gotten there. My grandfather passed away shortly afterward. To me, it almost felt as though he were finding one last way to say goodbye to my nan. The nurse who had found the photograph even cried when she saw my family's reaction. He told us that something about the photograph had felt strange to him. He couldn't explain it, but he'd felt the need to bring it to work that day and ask the lead nurse if she knew who the people were. He certainly never expected to discover that one of the people in the photograph was dying in that hospital that night. To this day, it is one of the strangest things I've ever experienced. I had never seen that photograph before, especially not in the house where I grew up. That gives me chills. Full body chills.
That's crazy.
Wow. That is.
I read that when you sent it to me earlier, and that immediately, I didn't know if I wanted to get the chills or the hair on the back of the neck or kind of cry, because it was like that was Granddad sending his message.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's one of those ones that definitely tugs on the heartstrings for sure. That And I don't know. I've seen some weird coincidences like that. Like, you know, so I always say, like, especially in like small towns, and Maine's full of them, you'll have families that have been there for like multiple generations and stuff like that happens. Like, I've seen people that literally would come into fucking, you know, museum that I work at, and they'd like point to a picture on the wall and they'd be like, that's my granddad in this picture. I just found him here. And we'd look him up in the registry, and yeah, it'd be him from like when he like enlisted in the war back in the fucking 40s or whatever. And like we'd have him just sitting on a wall in the museum, and it'd be somebody from like fucking California. So I mean, weird shit happens, and I don't know if it's like magnetic, like they're drawn to it somehow. In that instance, the guy finding the picture,
there are no coincidences, only synchronicities.
I mean, the guy finding the picture there and then them being there that day, that's a little too much.
Beautiful gift.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign of something. What it's a sign of, I mean, whether it's him saying, you know, goodbye, I like to think that's
to me is that's the ultimate sign of love, man. That was his.
That was a nice story. That was a nice and heartwarming story. That was a lovely one. I appreciate you. Yes. It is, honestly. That was a beautiful story. And
quick, tell a funny one. I don't want to be sad.
No, I'm going to tell you
found in walls. I love.
Yeah. So finding
we want to hear about things found in walls for all the new listeners. Please give us
old newspapers in walls. Qualify like that. Those are great. Amazing.
Oh, jars with weird stuff in them,
coins, all that stuff. You'd be amazed some of the stuff. Dolls, creepy dolls.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I found a Ouija board in a bookshelf before.
Ooh,
bought a bookshelf, had a wooden Ouija board fall out of it one day.
Nice.
It was like wedged into it somehow. Nobody owned it. We were like, literally, I've never seen one like it. It wasn't even like one of those Hasbro ones that you
still have it
at Walmart.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah. Of course. I'm not good. Yeah. I 100% will fucking. Yeah, I'll have to. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to dig that out. I mean, I've kept it because I was just like, I'm not gonna get rid of it. For me, I'm like,
I was given to you.
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's yours.
But I bought a couple of them at a secondhand store, and I sent Jeff a picture of them and was like, dude, look what I found. And he's like, hey, are those 1970 and 71s? I'm like, how the fuck do I know? Like,
but he does though.
But
he does.
Was right.
He's crazy. Like, he knows his
what
shit.
The fuck,
that's
dude?
his craft, man. Like,
I'm telling you, he knows his shit. Again, I have people I call for certain things. He's my Ouija board dude.
Yeah, you gotta have a Ouija board guy. It's good to have a Ouija board guy. It's nice. It's good to have that connection. The last one that I got, this is kind of a short one because it was submitted on social media, but I do have a little bit of background to it that I was able to verify. So it's an interesting one. It's not funny. It's actually rather dark, but there's a funny part to the message. So okay. So this was sent in via social media. This is from Sarah. Okay. When I was 11, my mom moved us into a house in Ripley. Over the course of the next 10 years, my dad's two best friends died. One fell off of a job site roof. One crashed his motorcycle into a ditch after leaving the house, and no one found him for about a week.
Ooh.
Then my dad and my brother drowned in the stream on the property. All three men had performed some sort of work or alterations on the house. My mother is an absolute nutter, but she swore up and down that the house was haunted by a bunch of women and one guy who had been hung on the property. She insisted that everyone had died because they had done work on the house and the spirit of the house was pissed. Anyways, I'm not calling you because, like, ew, phone calls. But here's a story in response to your podcast post on Insta. The drowning story can be confirmed via Bangor Daily. The motorcyclist friend was reported around 2008, but doesn't remember the name, and the rest is just family lore. So I was able to verify that. And yes, indeed, in May of 2011, in a stream that went along a little property in Ripley, Maine, a man by the name of Christopher and his 7-year-old son both drowned. And that is probably the most obvious sign of a generational curse I have ever fucking seen in any story that anybody's ever told me. There's something with that property, man.
Right.
Like,
Do they still own the property?
no, they
No
have
connection
since
to
moved.
it?
I've talked to her. I asked her. They have moved on. It has since had 3 to 4 different people move into the property and left, probably because they didn't have a fun time there.
It's amazing. That's why.
Yeah, they loved it. It's going to be an Airbnb. Can't wait for
No.
that. Yeah, no, it probably will, bro. Like the way that things are being, I wouldn't be surprised if it is uplisted as one. Like, this is what I'm trying to find out, because she doesn't remember like the address. So I'm trying to look at property records and see if I could piece together.
There's some bad juju going on there. I'd love to kind of check that out. Like,
yeah. And
something.
But the seeing, because I mean, the first 2 seem like rather unconnected. You know, like a guy falls off of a roof at a different place. It's tragic, sure, and they're both best friends, so obviously it sucks. But those ones I was like kind of tangential, you know, not really a thing that I'd be like, okay, that's paranormal. But then in same proximity, all people working on the house, you have 2 people, like able-bodied people, just die in a stream. That's fucking, like, that's crazy. Crazy to me. That's creepy. I thought that was a good one. So
anytime there's a kid like that happens, like that bothers me. But again, I'd be curious to find out some more history there. There's something dark there, whether it could just be something attached to the land or something. But keep digging, man. Because if you
that's
find
a project.
out,
that's a project, because I would definitely like to know more about it myself. And the details are there for the finding. It's just a matter of like just tracking down the threads. And that's one thing that we like to do. I like to do is we like to get your stories and find these things.
I like to feel the experience. Like, I want to go somewhere. If this place has that feeling, I want to feel it. That's why I do what I do. I mean, you can feel these things when you encounter them. And if this place is what they're saying, I guarantee there's some big feelings there.
It certainly sounds like it, man. Like, I mean, that stream alone, I mean, that sounds like a place that would be worth finding, and just, you know,
I'd just be really curious with the history, man. It sounds like a sad but cool place.
Yeah. And if there's any truth, I mean, there were hangings and stuff in like, you know, Maine. It's not like it didn't happen.
100%.
But it's hard to like trace them because there were so little records. That's the thing. Right. Is you look back, nobody was writing down, oh, we hung 7 women and 2 men today. Check. Like, nobody was fucking doing that. So like, it's a needle in a haystack when it comes to that stuff. But there's property records, man. Like, we have old properties. Some of them go back to right into the freaking 1600s. Yeah. So if we could find the property records, that's a thread. That's a lead.
I'll tell you what, I know some people. I have an aunt that does genealogy, and I'll tell you what, if we can get one of these people to help us dig, they dig some of the shit up that you would not believe. They're better than like any private investigator I've ever seen. Like, no shit. My aunt is a goddamn nurse. She does it as a hobby, and now it's like her job. Like, people pay her to do family histories, because you would be amazed the shit that they can dig up. And I don't even know how they do it, but that would be like an amazing story. That sounds like that would be the type of thing. Like,
yeah.
You get throw someone a bone on that, and they do some digging. That
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things. There's a lot of this stuff when it comes to like
See, that's
lease
a good one,
deals and
man.
things
That's
like that.
why I
That would
want to
be
be talking to the person. I'm like, I want to go there now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I do. She is a regular follower of ours, so she will
That's awesome.
definitely. I mean, I can reach out to her and ask more details and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
I
she
just
gave us quite a bit to work with, anyways,
it's
with this
listen, it's a
story.
great story. It
Yeah,
really is. I mean, we're obviously not going to be able to put our feet on the ground for every cool story, but we're going to try.
and we hope to. I mean, that would be the. I mean,
I will.
ideally someday, if we're ever like fully, mobile and able to take this show on the road, who knows what would be capable of doing. But right now, while we're just talking about it, it is nice to get these, getting feedback from people, getting stories
Yeah,
in from
man.
the listeners, man.
Yeah,
This
and it's
is
local
like
stuff. That's what's important to me. I don't
it.
want shit that happens in other states. I want
Yeah.
stuff that happens in our state.
Yes, it is not the Massachusetts Book of Secrets. It is
No.
not the Ohio Book of Secrets. It is not the California Book of Secrets. The
don't
Florida
care.
Book of Secrets. They can all have their own.
God,
And they can even
not
have their
us.
stories about our ghosts, but I don't want to hear
Probably.
about their home ghosts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And hey, you come into Maine and you have an experience, you can always call us and tell us too.
Yeah.
And I want to remind everybody that is an option. We thrive on hearing the stories of the weird, the dark, the unexplained, the strange things that you wouldn't tell anybody else. And we'll keep your name a secret. We can use a pseudonym. We can say you're anonymous. We can just use whatever name you want to tell us it is. We just want your stories. And at the end of the day, if you want to share those with us, there's a few ways you can do that. The best and easiest of which, probably for most people, is to go ahead and hop on to acadiaafterdark.com, head on over to the thing that says contact, and fill out that submission form. You could send us an email and we will read it out on the air so you can get your story out to all of the wonderful listeners that tune in each week. If you don't want to do that and you don't want to type it out, there are other ways as well. Brand new, we now have a hotline. You can call in at 401-592-4921. And you can call and tell us 24/7, 365. Leave a message after the tone, and we will play your beautiful, beautiful stories on the air for all the world to hear. I will screen them first. You're not getting away with some bullshit. I'm not tolerating that. We are trying to keep an honest operation around here, and so
We're
far
a bullshit-free operation, dude.
Yeah, we don't want to have the riffraff. We are the riffraff, and that's the way it's going to stay. So y'all are going to have to play nice, but we do want to hear your stories, and I hope that by the next time that we get it together, we'll have a few more stories to share. In the meantime, we're getting ready to wrap it up for today. What do y'all have going on this week? You doing anything fun?
You first, Autumn. Lady first.
I'm in the middle of writing a few books, so I'm just going to be home with some days off from work and working on my own personal stuff, and that'll be exciting.
That's good stuff, though. You don't get time to do that, so
a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Fair.
I ain't doing shit, so I'm waiting for surgery and getting ready. I really can't do anything. So
yeah, just prepping for that, right?
That's I just wait. It is what it is, holding pattern, but that's okay because I'm going to be preparing for the next show, which I didn't do last time. So.
That's all right. We had plenty of listener stories to carry the weight this time. We'll let them shoulder the burden. they had some good ones. I gotta say that all three of these were fucking fantastic stories. Yeah, so y'all started off for being the first couple of episodes. Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all really
good.
Yeah, we're eating good. I'm happy with all of that, and I love hearing them. So I definitely hope that they keep sharing them. This week I am not doing any appearances, but on the 30th I will be doing a live fogcast. I'll be playing a video game on the interwebs, probably on YouTube. If I can get my Twitch working again, I might do it there too. I will be playing a game called, what the fuck was the name of it? I downloaded it. The Holy Burn Witches. It's set in Maine. It's about a cult. I don't know how it has to do with witches, but I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to be talking about real witchcraft in Maine. And so that should be a fun time. If anybody wants to tune in and listen to me yap live and come and say hi, I'll be on the 30th. So coming right up sooner than I like to think. Yeah, we'll have another episode out before then anyways. So I hope that everybody has had a fantastic time. Thank you all for listening. As a reminder, this is an Acadia After Dark production. If you want to find more of the show, you can head on over to acadiaafterdark.com/Maine Book of Secrets. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic time. Stay tuned. We will see you on the next one.